Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I'll be presenting a lecture talk on laws of heredity. Okay, it's a continuation of Mendel's work. Mendel made four postulates to explain his ideas, okay, data on monohybrid and dihybrid cross. Okay, two of these postulates are known as the laws of Mendel. Okay, in the examination question paper, if they ask briefly explain or enumerate laws of Mendel, you can write this one. Okay, first one is heredity factors. Mendel's first postulate was the hereditary dominants exist in pairs, okay, and are responsible to inherit, and he called hereditary dominants as factor, okay. The character transmitted from parent to offsprings in the form of discrete units or particles. For each character or trait, there are two factors. For example, one is capital T, other one is small t, or capital T, capital T. Okay. We now call them as genes. Okay. The genes are the hereditary characteristics which transfer the one generation to another generation. Okay. So this is the first hereditary factors. One is received from the pollen, right? And the other is from the egg, which gives rise to the seed from which the plant developed, right? After the fertilization. The two genes of a pair may be identical, then we can call that as homozygous. Or contrasting means we can say heterozygous. For example, tall is dominant over dwarf. Now let us go to the second Mendel's law, that is law of segregation or law of purity of gametes. Also, you can say this as Mendel's first law. Okay. So, what is this here? Mendel's second postulate was known as Mendel's first law, or the law of segregation. This law can be best explained by monohybrid cross. Here you should recall the definition of the monohybrid cross and the cross of the monohybrid. We can also write that particular cross under this law. According to this postulate, the unit factor or character are separated or segregated in equal ratio at the time of gamete formation, so that each gamete gets only one factor of a pair, that is, it can carry either a gene T or small t, but never both. Okay. Or you can also say this law of segregation or law of purity of gametes. That is, this law states that the hybrids or heterozygotes of F1 generation have both the alleles of dominant and recessive nature. These alleles, though remain together for a long time, do not contaminate, mix, or blend with each other and separate or segregate during the gametogenesis or meiosis, so that each gamete receives only one allele, okay, of a character, either dominant or recessive, being pure. That's why this law was called law of purity of gametes or law of segregation. So this was the Mendel's first law, which was better explained by monohybrid cross. You can write here the monohybrid cross with the definition. Okay. Here in monohybrid, what we got the ratio? Phenotype, that is 3:1. Genotype is 1:2:1. Okay. Now let us go to the next law of heredity, that is law of dominance. Mendel's third postulate was the principle of dominance and recessiveness. Okay. When a pair of contrasting character are crossed, only one character makes its appearance as in as phenotype in the F1 generation. So in the F1 generation, which character will appear? No, phenotypic character, and he called that particular phenotypic character as dominant character, and the other which does not uh, show itself of being present in the genotype and that was suppressed is called recessive character. So in the F1 generation, we can make out which one is, which phenotypic character is dominant and which is recessive. Okay, for example, we understood that one through tall plant when crossed with the dwarf plant. Between these two parents, F1 plants bear only tall plant. If it means whatever we got in the F1 generation tall, no, that F1 was called dominant character. But in the F1 generation, there was the presence of another character which was unable to express in the F1, but that was expressed in the F2, right? So, but here we are focusing on law of dominance. So in the F1 generation, whatever the phenotypic characters will express, that will be known as dominant characteristics. So therefore, in the length of the plant, tall plant is dominant and dwarf plant is recessive. This kind of law of dominance he did for all the characteristics, right? He took the 7 contrasting characteristics. No, for all the 7 contrasting characteristics, he did this law of dominance. Okay. Similarly, round is dominant over wrinkled. Okay. Next here, let us go through about the fourth one, law of independent assortment. This was the Mendel's fourth postulate known as Mendel's second law. This was the second law or the law of independent assortment. Okay. According to this law, 2 or more pairs of character or factor assort and combine independently with any other character during gamete formation. Okay. Whenever individuals are crossed, the character present together in the individuals need to be inherit together, right? That is, each character is inherited independently. The production of appearance of recombinants, that is round green, wrinkled yellow, is due to the independent assortment of alleles for different character. Okay, this round green and wrinkled yellow were the recombinants products, right? Are two homozygous parent products. This law was best explained by dihybrid cross. In my previous video, I explained the dihybrid cross. You can refer that one and you can write this dihybrid cross under law of independent assortment. Okay. So this is about the law of heredity of Mendel's. All these 4 postulates you need to keep in your mind under laws of heredity. I, Dr. Pratibha K, signing off for today. Stay tuned with me. I'll be back with some more videos. And thank you for watching.